Hi, my name is Rhonda McKnight. And first of all, I'd like to thank Tony Shiloh for allowing me to read a snippet of my novel, The Thing About Home, on her Excerpt Wednesdays feature. Okay, so The Thing About Home is a novel that comes out on May 9th, 2023. It is the story of Casey Black, a social media influencer whose viral meltdown after being left at the altar sparks a journey of self-discovery, where she goes to the low country of South Carolina and discovers to try to get a connection to family that she's never known. That's what the premise of the story is. So I'm going to begin in chapter 1, and it is present day. I stepped into my limousine and pressed the bottom of my wedding dress flat. The scent of coconut and lemongrass filled the interior of the cabin. I imagined if cream and sunshine had a scent, this would be it. Today, I needed aromatherapy to do what it was supposed to do, relax me. Congratulations on your wedding, the driver offered a genuine smile. Thank you. It's a vow renewal ceremony. I hunched my shoulders like an excited teenager. 7 years. That's a lot to be proud of. He's a lucky man. Drew and I were both lucky. That's what I told myself this morning. But still, an uneasiness rose in my belly and formed a knot dead center. Something was bothering me, and I couldn't put my finger on what. A lingering shiver died in the heat of the warm vehicle. I dropped into the plush leather seat and pushed the niggling thought of worry from my mind. Heaven, I closed my eyes and moaned like I'd taken shoes off after waiting tables for 12 hours. This car was everything. The door opened again. I have your bag. My assistant, Swella Avery, was gifted in assisting. I opened my eyes and squinted against the sunlight gleaming over Swella's shoulder. As soon as I get back from my honeymoon, you are getting a huge bonus. Swella's green eyes bugged like glassy volcanic rock. Her luminous spiked red hair shot out like lava from a recent eruption. Please let it be enough for the new Valentino jeans. I laughed. Done. Now don't text me, don't call me, don't anything me. I need a few minutes of peace. Peace is yours. Swella poked her head in and inhaled demonstratively. I didn't overdo it with the spray, did I? Not waiting for an answer, she snatched her head out. We better get going. She waggled her shoulders and reminded me. It's almost over. With a shove of the door, she disappeared. I was sure she was just glad to get this day ticked off her to-do list. It was 7 months in the making, and I'd been running her all over the city. Guilt rushed in. I could have let her ride with me. That's what she wanted. That's what the whole have your bag intrusion was about. But I didn't owe her a piece of my space. Not today. I wanted quiet. I wanted to be alone with my thoughts. The car rolled forward, moving effortlessly through my park-sloped neighborhood, past Prospect Park on the left. I watched the tops of bare trees fly by. A light coat of ice from the sprinkling of snow we'd had the other day decorated the limbs. I was hopeful they would have leaves soon. A month ago, the groundhog forecast an early spring, but he was unreliable. New York winters submitted to no authority, certainly not one steeped in superstition and regulated by a rodent. My phone buzzed. Expecting it to be Drew, I warmed a little around my heart. He hadn't texted or called since early this morning. We weren't in new love, but I expected a little excitement and romance. The text was from my mother. Don't be late. As if. I whispered, deleting it. I was 36 years old, and I'd never been late to any meeting or event in my life. My mother's lectures on timeliness were repetitive and exhausting and effective. So I was grateful for her consistency. I swiped until I located my husband's number and tapped to dial. After 2 rings, it went to voicemail. He's busy. That's what I told myself. But a strange tension hovered in our home, one that I summarily dismissed as pre-renewal stress. But try as I might to ignore it, my intuition kept nagging, and a familiar female voice, my own, that something was wrong. Or maybe it was that something was worse. Things had been off between Drew and I for a long time. But in 45 minutes, we declare our love and celebrate it, and then fix whatever might be broken under the Hawaiian sun. I silenced the annoying little voice again. It was a liar. Today was going to be perfect. 20 minutes later, the annoying little voice could no longer be ignored. This wasn't a wedding, but I told Drew I didn't want to see him to see me until the ceremony. So when he knocked on the door of my bridal suite and insisted I join him across the hall in the pastor's study, the hair stood up on the back of my neck. The heavy door closed with a thud that echoed in the corridor behind us. I waited a beat, and then another as Drew stood there in his luxurious Giorgio Armani suit. Discomfort reddened his face. He looked away from me. When he returned, his expression was odd. So I steeled myself for what he had to say. I can't go through with the ceremony. Drew's brittle words floated above me. They wouldn't land in my brain, but I registered fear. It slammed into my back, splitting me in two. Casey 90 seconds ago, and Casey now. So that is an excerpt from the first chapter. As we can see, there's going to be probably a very interesting conversation in that pastor's study. So hopefully you will be curious about Casey's journey, where this situation with her husband takes her, and you'll look into the thing about home. Like I said, it comes out on May 9th, 2023.